Alright, and now we are in the next video. And with that, I shall show you how to proceed from this section. So now that we've gone through here, we want to fast travel back up to the train graveyard that we were at earlier. This little section up here. And we come down around and start heading west. We're going to be passing the train that we came from earlier. We're going to be entering this little cave up over here. We got kind of like a bunch of mini levels we're going to be doing. Yeah, try to avoid damage. I guess it's not really that important when we actually have this much health, but still. I always forget you can actually, like, technically jump off these spiders and do so safely. Oh, I didn't actually need that. For some reason, I thought that was ammunition because I saw it was that, like, one bullet. But yeah, so general rule that I would always give, unless you specifically need a weapon, keep the wind spell available, because it's good for a lot of, like, run-saving maneuvers. And in that section, it's also good for speed. You can kind of skip, like, a very tiny portion of it. Ah, dang it. And yeah, one important thing to know about at least the wind spell in particular, is that once you use the wind spell, you do not get the usage of it back until you touch the ground. That's one of the things where, like, getting hit by an enemy, taking damage, stuff like that, will not reset it. Only touching the ground will. Although, no, I think, actually, no, getting hit... Okay, there's something that doesn't allow it to refresh, but I forget what that is. I know it's something relatively important. That was not the movement I expected to do there, but it worked out beautifully. But yeah, there is something that will not let you actually, like, replenish that usage. Also, that one will trap you. You have to wait for the second bomb if you want to take him out with that, because the first one will just explode on the thing. That grenade will take out both enemies, which is one of my favorite things to do. And it's so much free experience. But yeah, so I think getting hit by an enemy does actually replenish your magic usage. I think it's pogoing or jumping off an enemy that doesn't replenish it, like it does with the brain fart. Okay, so when you get to this section, this is the one section where you're actually required to use the ice spell. That breaks that open, and it's too big a thing to actually go through with the dash. So once you break that open, you go back to the wind spell. You do not get bodied by that guy. Ooh, we barely... Oh, God. I don't know how I avoided damage from those. I guess they felt like just far enough where they didn't really get to me in time. Okay, so that is where we would get our bombs refilled normally. Assuming we didn't pick any up beforehand. Yeah, we will be using bombs again. I forget when exactly. Probably once we actually enter Mechos' fortress proper for taking care of one big enemy. So here we are at General Mechos' fortress. Gonna fight the guy we think is the big baddie. And yeah, this section will annoy you when you're first trying to learn the run. This is definitely one of the harder levels in the game as far as the speedrun is concerned. And even like even casually, I had a lot of trouble with this section when I first played. But it kind of, as always, number one rule is just keep moving. As long as you keep moving, you can kind of ignore all the really bad bits. Ooh, I almost got hit by that bomb. I love how you have immunity when the door is opening, so you can get hit by that rocket and take absolutely no consequences. Yeah, if you hit that grenade fast enough, you actually can trigger it to defeat the guy down there, which is nice. Also, yeah, you really don't need to worry so much about the little alarm things there. As long as you don't take too many hits, you can just make it to the next door and get to the checkpoint. I think there's one alarm that I do not advise going through, because I think it does create one of like the super big machine gun guys that we're going to see soon enough. And those guys do like a bajillion damage. But until then... Okay, yeah, so... Yeah, some grenades will actually be able to hit you... Oh, God. That's not what I wanted. Okay. I was gonna say, did I just discover a new tech to despawn the truck? But apparently, no, I didn't. It still proceeds like normal. How did I make that movement without taking damage? That was actually kind of cool. Let's second go. Also, you can reflect these bullets from this little turret thing. I don't know why you can reflect those bullets, but it basically one-shots them. I am going to... Actually, I'm just using one of our consumables and save the level up points. Let's see how well that actually works. So far, it is working. Yeah, since I do need some health, there we go. Yeah, it's pretty much never a bad idea if you're low on health to just open up boxes, try to get some more health that way. Oh, nice. I skipped those entirely. Let's second go. Yeah, if you jump around like the base of that big turret right there, you can basically avoid damage. So here, you want to get to the boomerang and fire it so you can knock out basically all of those, then do the same thing up there. Those guys will do so much more damage to you, and you can just kind of let that one fall like normal. Yeah. I'll let you live. Yeah, most of those ladders, if they're short enough, you're actually better off just climbing all the way down rather than trying to kind of jump off of it. Because when you jump off the ladder, you still get your full basic jump height as well, which you always have to account for. And yeah, as you've seen throughout pretty much all these videos so far, is that like 90% of the time you're doing some kind of like dash through the air or on the ground for the sake of speed. Sometimes using it to actually avoid damage, but usually it's just for the speed. You're doing it like constantly. And also dashing through their sensors for these guys, make sure they do not trigger. Which is really good because they will just literally stalk you until you straight up die if you trigger them that way. Now we're just going. Look at the health. Ow. Prepare to head left here. Yeah, this section can be kind of scary because there's so much stuff happening at once and you're not sure whether or not you're going to land on a platform, but it's usually not so bad. You guys think of the freaking Hammer Bros. Oh my god, leave me alone. You know what? I am playing it safe. Okay, I thought I reflected that bullet. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna get runs that are just kind of like this, where just things go randomly wrong. And unfortunately, because that was very late in that checkpoint cycle, we had to go through all of that again. Well, I did not account for being on fire. We're not really close enough to a level up to really be able to rely on that. We can pick up this health potion at least. That'll secure us for a little bit. There we go. So I wonder if maybe this is a section I should consider using my my dragon ability. Oh my god, you freaking suck. Okay, so even if you're doing that shot, that's still worth doing. Yeah, can we get some health? That's magic. Oh god. Okay, we're at a checkpoint. We're fine. No, we're not at a checkpoint. Oh, I am so glad to use that item in time. Oh my god, please. There we go. I think at this point we're good to swap back to the wind spell. So there's gonna be a checkpoint up here then. And I think about here is where we want to start swapping to the bomb. There's a certain enemy that will do like a bunch of damage to you and it's hard to really kind of get past him normally. So I have kind of a setup I use with the bombs here to make sure he gets taken care of. Hey, level up, let's go. Alright, so at the edge of this building right here, you're going to be walking by it. Once you pass this edge, you want to throw a bomb. And then as you're passing the edge of the next building, you want to throw another bomb there. So like so. So that'll take care of the big guy up on top there. He does like a bunch of damage, like 2 or 3 hearts per bullet. And he fires a massive amount of them at one time. So you definitely do not want to get hit by any of those. So it's usually better off just kind of making him exploderize. Okay, so that's not quite enough unless we move this up a bit. Yeah, some of these jumps can be a bit on the precise side. I thought I could survive that. Ow. Okay, I think there should be another checkpoint. Not quite yet. Okay, here's another section. Perfect. I didn't even get my bombs back. Perfect. Okay, so that does... And yeah, this is another case where we want to just put a couple bombs down to nullify somebody's inconvenience. Wow, we're getting a whole bunch of bombs. I mean, yeah, the second I failed that first jump, I should have known that would not work. Yeah, there's always little things to keep in mind when you're going through these runs that you need to factor in for movement and such. That's kind of what makes it, in my opinion, such like a fun speedrun too. You always have to pay at least some attention, but to some degree, you can also kind of just like vibe and chill through a good chunk of it as well. Now, on the plus side, the big guy is always permanently killed once you defeat him, so we can just kind of come across here as if nothing is going on. Ah, dang it. Thought I could avoid that. Also, yeah, as always, avoid all explosions or reflect them back if you can. Actually, I think that jump would have worked if I started from there and used the wind spell. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I think the cannonballs do 2 hearts of damage if I remember right. Oh, God. I am letting myself get sloppy. God. Oh, nice. He walked into the explosion. Let's heck him go. Well, I didn't mean to trigger that, but he did. Oh, okay. I thought it was safe for some reason. Yeah, this is one of those sections that I pretty much like always need further practice on. There's always some kind of little thing that trips me up. I'm getting my bombs back pretty easily, at least. That's cool. I have to repel that now. There we go. Okay, we're coming here with more health. That's at least a good thing. Well. Honestly, it might be faster to actually skip that guy proper, but... Yeah, I still like taking the safe route. Especially when I'm having kind of a relatively badish run. I at least kind of feel like I'm doing better. Then, yeah, this alert thing you just skip. Nobody's gonna come to you in time. Alright, there's a checkpoint. I'm glad I saw that going south. Hey, perfect time for a level up. Let's go. Yeah, this guy you actually can kind of just push through. He doesn't have a very wide attack range there. This guy can be annoying, but honestly, it's everybody else that's kind of the sucky. Okay. Healing. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, that section can be panicky if things go wrong, but you can just barely dodge everything if you're reflexive enough. Also, I'm going to be a little bit careful here so I don't get hit by, like, a straight bullet. Okay, so as long as you have more than one heart here, you can just slide immediately and take no real damage because there's a checkpoint here. If you're at one or less hearts, you have to wait for the time to go through here. But then you will have a checkpoint, so everything will be nice and safe. And now we're at the Mechos boss fight, who is kind of Never mind, not yet. I always forget there's one last section here to go through. Nice, we got the one guy off screen and we got the other guy to ignore us. That's perfect. So we do this to make sure we don't take surprise damage. Dang it. Nah, I'm not even close to low enough anyway. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to come by and pick this up, but I always do because it's pretty much always a free level up this stage. And it's nice and quick and easy to get to. Do this again. Pick up our free bombs, because why not? Oh, I didn't get the other guy. Oh, well. Alright, I think now it should be the boss, right? There we go. Now this should be the boss, I think. Yeah, it's the boss. Okay, so that does not replenish our ammo. Good to know. Alright, so Mechos has multiple phases. I'm probably not going to be able to show all of them off, but he always starts off with his fire sword phase. Usually my strat is just kind of like pogo stick him for a bit. You want to do a little extra hop there so you don't get hit by the flame as he's throwing it. Deflect these grenades back at him. 2 hits, dodge. Sometimes he does this little extra stuff. Do another grapple, and then you can just kind of attack him with basic attacks. Okay, so this is probably one of the easiest phases right here. He just fires regular bullets, which don't do a lot of damage. You can kind of easily dodge. And he will occasionally just drop health potions as well. So this is basically the phase that he starts the fight off with as well, with a couple extra little quote-unquote features. Yeah, like there, he dropped a... And we're now on fire. That's great. Okay, another submachine gun, another one that's actually not really that bad to deal with. Because again, he drops health potions at certain points. I think he drops more potions the lower health you are, too. So you can kind of use that to your advantage and kind of just like soak damage. Okay, now he's back to his normal attack, where he does all the fire stuff. Okay, so we actually didn't get to see his 2 worst phases. One of which is a shotgun phase, which isn't all that bad, but the phase where he fires those bombs constantly. You can do a lot of reflective damage to him if you can knock the bombs back into him, but he can do so much damage to you back in return. That's a strat I still haven't really fully worked out yet myself either. Yeah, basically that segment is just kind of get used to the modes. Here you want to try to reflect back as many grenades as you can. Oddly enough, you want to keep facing away for the most part. I find that it's usually easier to reflect them that way for whatever reason. Yeah, the more you can reflect, the more damage you do, and this is really the main way you do damage. There's not much else that's, like, comparable. And unfortunately, not all the grenades will hit. We actually had quite a bit of luck with that one, honestly. So when you come around here, you can get a quick, you can try to get some quick attacks in. And unfortunately, you pretty much are at his mercy for the way he does his attacks. But yeah, you want to just reflect everything. The more you can reflect, the more damage you do, and the faster he dies. That was actually kind of a fairly good fight by my standards, all things considered. Yeah, I might maybe try to make like a future video with more focus on how to beat the first phase of that in all of his forms. But for now, that kind of shows you depending on the phase, if he does like his bullet phases, you're mostly good just kind of go on the attack and keep an eye out for any health potions that drop. When the bomb phase comes up, you kind of want to more focus on survival and trying to reflect the bombs back if you can. Because I think they do explode if they hit you automatically. But yeah, just the bomb phase is probably the most troublesome one. You'll probably find your own methods to deal with that, honestly. But yeah, so that is going to be the end of this segment. So I will see you in the next video when we tackle the Soul Well, which is going to have a kind of underwhelming ending in the speedrun because you don't actually get to see any like the cool stuff that happens after it. But yeah, we'll see you in the next video for the next part of the run. See you soon.